Hi, I'm Lizzie Bauer of Western Colorado University's MEM, MS, MBA Writing Workshop, and this is Building Your Resume with Professionalism in 5 minutes. If you're building your resume for the first time, it can be hard to know where to begin. How will you format or structure it? What headings should you use? Save yourself a lot of time and frustration by letting a resume template do a lot of the work for you. You can find a number of templates in a variety of different styles using most word processing platforms, such as Microsoft Word, or using online resume builders from sites like Canva.com or Indeed. When choosing your template, try to think about what your employer might be looking for and what might make your qualifications stand out. This is also a good opportunity to express yourself a little with a style that speaks to you. Just make sure to keep it professional with a clear and easy to read font. Next, you'll want to make this template your own by customizing it. Create a profile blurb or tagline to help employers get a sense of who you are and what experiences you bring to the table. As you're filling in your content with your work history and education, be sure to match keywords and phrases with those found in your desired job description. Try to align your past work history with relevant skills and qualifications your employer might be looking for. It's okay to change some of the titles of the headings found in your template if you think a different subheading would better highlight your best qualities, such as changing hobbies to volunteer experience. Always be thinking about what your employer might want to see and structure your resume accordingly. As much as we focus on doing the right thing, it's also important to note a few common mistakes. Although an objective section was once commonly used, today's employers typically find this section redundant. It's clear that obtaining a job at their company is your main goal when turning in your resume. Any further description on this can be explained in your cover letter. Oftentimes, a references section also isn't necessary unless the job description states that the reviewer is expecting to see this. Employers will assume that if you're applying for a job, you have references. If your resume makes it past the first round of review or even onto an interview, your potential employer will reach out to you if they wish to contact your references. Make sure to keep descriptions of your current and past job duties brief. Try using bullet points to attract attention to your qualifications and experience, and avoid using full sentences. Feature your most relevant experience and skills and leave the rest out. Unless you're creating a CV or applying for a government job, most employers will appreciate your resume being 2 pages or less. Never lie or exaggerate. It can be useful to get crafty with word phrasing, such as changing answering phones into customer service and support. But don't embellish to the point of falsehoods, such as claiming you were an event manager when all you ever did was collect tickets at the door. It's okay if you don't have all the skills your future employer is looking for. The hiring committee will appreciate your integrity, and employers will be able to find out if you aren't qualified to meet their needs. Don't waste your time refining a resume and then turning in your application late. If your employer sets a deadline, show them your commitment and make the effort to show up on time with your best foot forward. Also, refrain from including a personal photograph of yourself in any of your application materials, as this can create an unconscious bias in the employer before they even sit you down for an interview. And now for the finishing touches. Print out your document and scan it over to note any inconsistencies or areas that need adjusting in formatting. Does the document appear neat and attractive? Would you hire you? Is your contact information up to date? Consider submitting your document to the writing workshop in advance of your deadline to get feedback from a qualified writing tutor like me. Once you're happy with your final product, print it out on a nice professional paper that's firm and will stand out in your employer's hands. If you're submitting your application online, export your document to a PDF file to give it a professional touch before hitting send. And that's how you build a professional resume in 5 minutes.